But DC is not walking away from Batman anytime soon, guys, because now we have a new story about a Joker TV show based off of the Batman that's going to lead to a Joker movie. Can we talk about that in Comic Corner, everybody? Let's do this. So this came out, right? Comic Corner, Ron.
Yeah.
I love this story because I would say this is like the smartest thing that WB has been doing with the Batman thing than they've ever done with this whole universe, because we've been talking about all these spin-offs coming. The Penguin is doing fantastic on Max right now, right? It's gritty. It's like The Sopranos. It builds this audience and it builds it up so the next movie, when that character pops in, it makes sense and you want to see them. So now there's this whole thing came forward. It actually talked about recently in one of these, it was like this Marvel Vision podcast. And there's been more people talking about it too. It's been spreading across the internet all day today about how Barry is coming back from the, Barry, I was Kogan, I wasn't butcher his name, but he played the Joker in the Batman very briefly at the very end of the Batman. One moment there, one scene, and that's it. And then they're saying he's not gonna be the main villain for the next one, but now, apparently, what they're going to do is over on Max and Warner Brothers, they want to make a whole TV series, the first season, about his rise as the Joker, and then make him the villain for the Batman 3. And then give him a little cameo on the Batman 2, and then you have him being the villain. And this stuff right here, I know people are like back and forth about his Joker. Looks fucking weird and sick. It's gross. I know that. I think it was weird. It was like Heath Ledger mixed with a little bit of Jack Nicholson, but it really felt like a lot like going to Heath Ledger. But I don't even care about his performance. I think this is smart business, what they've been doing. That's what I want to talk about tonight about this. It's the business of it. Because you have a way of building an audience, giving a character time to shine, thrive, grow, and so at the point you want to see them on the big screen, and when you see them, it brings more butts to the seats and gets people back into theaters, which is what we want more than ever, because theaters are dying off constantly. And when I heard this, I'm like, this makes sense. A Joker backstory type thing. Find out how he got to Arkham, find out how he becomes the Joker. You spend some time with this character, you grow with them. And I think what WB found with Penguin is that works and that sells. Make it gritty, make it real, make it some about a downfall of a character, much like the original Joker movie. It was about a downfall of a character and what he came to be as Arthur Fleck. This is interesting though. And I think that if you're gonna do the Joker, this is gonna be giving like the fans and the audience a lot of Joker without actually throwing them right into a movie and like zippity doo dah, 1, 2, 3, we're done. So let's talk about this for a second, because I know it's a big thing. It's a big movie. We're talking about all these different movies. There's like a Batman, Bane, and what was it? There's a Bane one coming forward. There's another movie that we're talking about. Harvey Dent movie coming forward, or TV show coming forward on Max. So all these are being influx of these DC gritty reality-based, procedural type productions, but in the Batman universe. Where does this one fall? Like, what do you think, Mike? Is this gonna be like a One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest type thing? You think? Like, what kind of world is this gonna be like? Because they've been characterizing these as like a dramatized series, like dramatized version. Like, look at the Penguin is like Sopranos. They're saying the Harvey Dent's gonna be a lawyer procedural. Where does this kind of fall into? What do you think?
These are great questions, Brian. Number one, Keoghan. I just looked it up. Keoghan.
I always butcher it. Keoghan.
I've been following him for a while because he's kind of like a really strange, like kind of different looking gentleman. I can say that because I'm a different looking gentleman myself. Like Paul Dano, who you had as the Riddler, right? Like they're kind of trying to pull some guys from the fringes there.
Yeah, I agree. They are trying to pull him from the fringes. But Mike, do you think that like he can be like? Is this going to make his character more meaningful, you think?
It might. I actually have been watching The Penguin. So
you like it?
I do like it. It's strange to me to hear like the actual comparisons to Tony Soprano, because obviously like it's DC focusing on the organized crime aspect of things, and I get that. Colin Farrell is playing an overweight, like New Jersey organized crime person, but like, and he does a great impression of that. Like, obviously, I do enjoy the characterization that he brings to that, but I don't know necessarily like that. It's great. It's great acting. Barry, on the other hand, like, and I gotta give, I gotta give Colin Farrell his credit. So sorry about going backwards for that, but you know, I don't know. I kind of think that if they devote a show to the background of the Joker, like, is that what we'll see here? Are we going to see a bunch like history of mental challenges, which we kind of saw in the original Joker, which I personally liked a lot. If they want to do it like that, and they're kind of developing this like the serial killer shows, like Dahmer, like the Menendez brothers. If that's what they're going to do, that actually kind of makes sense to me, although it might be kind of deteriorating who they have as an archetypal concept of the Joker. I don't know. I'm stretching far conceptually, Brian.
No, I see what you're saying. I think the problem is, though, too, it's like you don't want to be too close to that Joker movie, though, too. You know what I mean? Like, you did it all in a feature film. How do you stretch out into 8 episodes, you know? But maybe it would be about him as a character, like what he's going through. Maybe you'd actually see some crime of him as a Joker, you know, like doing little crimes that build into the big crime that gets him arrested, you know, before Batman arrests him.
That's what makes sense to me, Brian, is the thing. Like, I think we can do it like a kind of a build. I hope they would do an episodic thing rather than like just a fully arc thing, because the massive arcs kind of fit in with me in terms of the like, this feels like homework. Like, this feels like another movie. This feels like another massive arc. I got to watch more of this shit if I want to be on board of the cultural wave. But I don't. I just want to see. I just want to see Arthur. I don't. What's his last name as the Joker?
Cobblepot? Oh, no, Arthur Cobblepot was.
That's Oswald
Arthur
Cobblepot.
Fleck.
That's the Penguin.
Arthur Fleck.
Arthur Fleck. Thank you. Yeah. I just want to see like the weekly challenges of being Arthur Fleck in Gotham City, and then, you know, maybe your neighbor Steve Urkel shows up occasionally.
He's trying to figure out his health insurance, you know.
Yeah.
and like
hopefully he doesn't take over the show.
He's switching to Geico. That's a hard thing on a Tuesday, you know. He's just trying to figure it out.
You're thinking about those branding tie-ins. That's a good idea, Brian.
You know? No, but I think it's interesting. But like the whole concept of making this more grounded in reality is like trying to relate to a bigger fan base. Hence I go to Ron. Ron, does this kind of thing work, you think? Because not being a big fan of some of this stuff, like grounding it, The Penguin, again, is one of those shows where now it's like Sopranos. We keep saying, oh, The Sopranos. It's not really a Penguin show, but it is. It's based in, we have no Batman. We have nothing like that. It's about a criminal overlord kind of taking over. This will probably be a guy about having a psychological breakdown and losing his mind and becoming this next big villain that doesn't necessarily tie in with having Batman there at all. No. Does that help make this draw to a bigger audience, do you think? And is it something, Ron, that could actually lure you in to check this out, and it could maybe make you watch the movies?
I think that if it related more to the original, like related more to Batman and stuff, that is the audience you're going after, and you can find more of that audience. But breaking it off to something else that's not really related is, I don't think that that's smart. I mean, it just turns into sort of another show.
Yeah, that's what it is. It becomes like a procedural. That's what they're trying to do. They're making them procedurals. What if they did this? What if they did like a Law and Order type deal? So it's like Joker and Law and Order, and they have like the people from Law and Order with him.
That's interesting.
It sounds like Gotham,
right? It does.
It does. Yeah. I don't know. That's.
What do you think about this whole marketing thing, though, in general, Ron? Like, let's make a TV series to make this character building up to introduce them later to be a bigger villain in a bigger production.
The marketing, I think, is sort of spot on. You know, I do. Yeah.
I think you should see, like, people are going nuts about his character in general because they think it's too much like Heath Ledger, which is hard to, like, you know, touch on. It really is. But
that is. But I can see people would be attracted to that.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they've been selling this off of, I think. I don't know, this whole Batman universe, do they need so many spinoffs, Ron?
No.
Like it's too much?
No, they don't. No. It's just like, oh my God, that's all we have. Yeah.
Some people are being the same way too, and I guess it's a lot. It's a lot. GR's all for it though. GR's got his he's got his Joker underwear with, say ha 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 ha, ladies all across them. Come here and get it. The Dark Knight Rises. It says on his back. I mean,
Oh boy.
What are you smoking tonight, Brian? Because it obviously it's like really affected you.
I don't know. It's Friday. Oh, but GR though, what do you think about this? I know you're not big. I don't have a feeling I know what you're gonna say about this, but another villain, GR, being again.
I love it, Brian. Yeah, really. Sure.
Another villain being brought up in television form. Is that big ratings for you, GR?
It has no ratings. It's a piece of garbage that it's like they said in our chat. What's the point? They're making heroes out of villains. What has it got to do with the storyline of Batman? I don't give a shit why he's an asshole. He's an asshole.
So you're not cheering him on anyway, huh?
In a word, Brian, no.
I thought you were going to say Dilligaff.
Well,
in a word.
It is you asked me the direct question, but it is a Dilligaff moment. But the answer to your question was no. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I don't think viewers will.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's always a risk. It's always a risk. Everybody's been going crazy about this because again, it's like having a Joker TV show is different than they've ever done before. He's one of the biggest characters there in that universe. So I think that's where people are kind of going nuts about it. But I don't know. I'm intrigued. And again, it also showcases you have a plan for more movies off this Batman franchise that's really kind of floating in its own universe and not attached to what their bigger and bigger plans are for this franchise.
This seems to be the only reliable hit that kind of DC can do. I don't know if that's a lot of shade, but
it kind of is.
Aside from the cartoons.
I tell you what, Brian, if you play the lead, I'll watch it.
I would do it. They already got Barry here. He did it one time. I would do it. I'm going for Days of Thunder, GR. I'm going to shoot for Days of Thunder like we were talking about on Wednesday. I want to play Tom Cruise's younger son in Days of Thunder. He's telling me to kick my tires and light my fires, and I'm fucking kicking off and racing my ass off. That's what I want.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I see Brian as a better Batman than a Joker, personally.
I'd be Batman.
Yeah.
I would love to be Batman.
Where does Timothée Chalamet fit into this?
He's going to be his lover. He's going to be his lover. That's what I'm going to go with. Timothée Chalamet is going to be there, and you're going to find this whole different side of Joker, and he's going to probably murder him at some point. I'm sorry. It's going to happen.
Oh, man, I'm subscribing right now. What's the URL?
I'm there.
He's going to murder him. Or I'm just saying, I can see him fitting here somewhere. Maybe he'll be his best friend, brother.
Yeah, you'd love to fit him in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, that's going to screw up the Dune timeline.
Oh, it can mess the whole Dune timeline up, and nobody needs that. We need to keep those worms rocking and rolling there. But I don't know. Let us know what you think. Oh, does the chat like this at all? The chat hates this, GR?
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
The chat hates this?
In a word, I think so.
Well, I'm interested. I'm excited about this. I know we're all kind of going back and forth. I'm kind of excited.
With me.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for more acting roles, and what's been happening on Max. Zaslav loves what they did with Penguin. I think he's super excited to keep keeping that kind of energy moving forward. So we'll see what this happens. This might make this Batman universe bigger than we thought it would be, and it might lead to much more of these kind of movies moving forward. So we'll have to wait and find out. But I mean, it's a big risk. It is. Or it'd be a big payoff. It could be a big payoff, though.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.